Hi, I'm Mark Wilson-Thomas and I'm a Program Manager on the Visual Studio IntelliCode team. I'm here today to share with you some ways in which we're making developers more productive using the power of machine learning and advanced pattern matching techniques. So just to take a quick look here, we're working with developers who have struggled with getting to code with confidence, to find their issues in their code faster, and to focus their code reviews. And we've got answers to many of those questions. What we allow you to do is to leverage the wisdom of the community that you're working in terms of its code base, and bring it to bear at your point of need right in your code editor. Okay? So what that allows you to do is to get very, very context sensitive recommendations for the code that you're going to write. We can also search inside the code that you're typing, right there locally on your machine, and look for repeated patterns that you might be creating whilst you code. Those things are then used to spot places elsewhere in your code where the same change might be required. We call that repeated edits detection. And that's using a technology called PROSE, which is a program synthesis by example, that is the same tech that is used in Excel to do that flash fill feature where you fill out lots of examples of something. So let's take a look at a quick demo. So here I'm going to show you, I'm working on a little function here, and the function I'm working on is going to strip some characters from some code, do a little bit of normalization. And you'll see if I place my caret right here and bring up IntelliSense, I see these recommendations which are coming from IntelliCode. And you'll see that the one that it's recommending is replace here. This is based on the context that I'm in, okay? But watch what happens as I start to work further down my code. If I say if path dot, I'll see a different list to the one that I saw before. That's pretty cool because actually it knows that I'm in the context of an if, and I can say ends with and go ahead and put in the thing that I've just replaced to search for it. It gets even better though. If I start to then go ahead and take an operation based on that, I'm now inside the context of an if block, and again, the context is different, so the recommendations are different. So I'm getting recommendations based on what the open source community knows about my code. I can then go even further and start to fill out the parameters for this method. And sure enough, it even knows that length is the most logical one for here where I'm looking for an integer. Okay? So that's IntelliCode's recommendations in a nutshell. We even provide you with the ability to train on your own source code and get recommendations for your own types. And that's a service that we're adding. You can get to that simply by going here and typing IntelliCode, and you'll bring up this screen which will allow you to create models based on your own code and see completions for your own types. I also mentioned the repeated edits, and I just want to show you a quick one of those right now. If I am refactoring some code here, and I go ahead and start doing that work, and I've got some other instances of this further down my file, and at this point in time as a developer I'm feeling pretty depressed because I've got to go and find every single one of them, and I might go ahead and write a regular expression to go find those, but honestly debugging that regular expression might actually take me longer than going and finding them. So what I've noticed here is though that PROSE is on my side. The repeated edits detector has detected the other places for me, and better still, it can actually go ahead and make the fix right there in the code for me because it just found my pattern and helped me out. So I've leveraged the wisdom of even the code that I was typing on the fly to get things done. This is just getting started for IntelliCode. I encourage you to hit us up at aka/ms/WAC IntelliCode to learn more, and get in contact with us if you want some more information. You can download the extension for Visual Studio and for Visual Studio Code today. Thanks a lot.